this is Kurt with Axtreme-Guitar, and for this video I'm going to be going over the song Wonderwall by Oasis. It's a very beginner-friendly guitar riff, and I'm using a capo on the 2nd fret. If you don't have one, you can just play it from down here, but you won't be able to play it with the song and be in the same key that they're in. But if you wanted to play it this way, then it would be... Still sounds the same, just slightly lower, but for this video I'll play it with the capo on the 2nd fret. We're in standard tuning, and if you get your capo set up on that 2nd fret, some of you like to call it capo, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. But I'm just setting my capo up really close to the fret, and I always check it out to make sure for a couple of things. One's that I don't have fret buzz. Sounds pretty good. And then the other is, of course, sometimes when you put a capo on, it will adjust the tuning just because of the way that it's seated on the strings. If you sometimes put it on there, and it will bend the string just a little bit and it'll throw off the tuning. So first off, when we start playing the song, we are using an E minor 7. Some of you may know an E minor 7 as just the single finger on the A string 2nd fret. That's correct, but the other voicing of an E7 can be, you're going to have 2 fingers on the bottom 2 strings, 3rd frets, and then you're going to play an E minor shape with your other 2 fingers. Now notice, with my 2 fingers on the bottom 2 strings, the E and the B strings on the 3rd frets, this is where we're going to keep these the entire song. It's just one of the things that they do with this song. So we have E minor 7, then we go to G, and when we switch to this D, it's a D sus4 because you're playing a G at the bottom here on the 3rd fret, and you'll see that in other songs too. You might even recognize it if you've seen my other video on Free Fallin'. It's not quite the 2nd fret, I think they actually played on the 3rd fret, but you can hear the similarity when you play. And go figure, the next chord that we're going to be working with is a 7 sus4. Now, in Free Fallin' they use just a sus4, at least that's how I showed it. So there's a subtle difference in a 7 sus4 in this song. So an A7 would be like an A major, but with a gap in between. So when you're playing this sus4 on this A7, you have these 2 fingers down here like I told you they would be for the entire song, but then you're going to have a gap in between where you would usually place a finger if it was A sus4. Because it's a 7 sus4, there's an open string in between, and then you have your pointer finger. So we have A7 sus4. And then when we eventually hit on the C chord, we would use C add 9. Sometimes C add 9 is played without the pinky on the bottom, but in this case we're going to use the pinky on the bottom, as I said, throughout the entire song. So in the verses of this song is E minor 7 to a G, then to a D sus4, to an A7 sus4. And the strumming pattern is something that you'll want to try to get used to hearing and then mimicking. I'll try to do my best to show you exactly how I approach it. So it's... So just going from the E minor 7 to the G, I'm going down, down, up, down, up, down, down. So when I usually play the song and perform, I would come up. I'm keeping these fingers glued. Usually I would say in a chord progression where you're changing, you're going to take your fingers off the fretboard to change to the next chord. In this case, these will stay here, but I'm going to take these fingers off in the middle, so it's... So it's down, down, up, with these fingers off, down, up, down, down. So, and then we use the same pattern, the strumming pattern, when we move to the D7. So similarly, I changed with the up strum, taking these two fingers off to move to the A7 sus4. So again, if we walk through that slowly, I'll just do it without talking and you can see how I make it work. And so that's generally how the entire verse goes. Now, let's shift over to the chorus. So there's a pre-chorus, starts with that C at 9. So with this pre-chorus, I'm going to be playing down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. So the last line of the pre-chorus may be the one that gives you a bit of a challenge there because the changes happen pretty quick. So it's so it's on every beat when they go G to D sus4 slash F sharp to E minor 7 back to D sus4, but not the F sharp with the in the bass note there, and then directly to the A7 sus4. So I think that I would play that with just single down strums each time. So right as we are finishing the pre-chorus on that A7 sus4, where we were staying on this chord for about 8 beats, then he gets into the chorus. So the changes happen at normal pace. It's just when if you're singing, or if you're just working with someone else that's singing it, you're gonna probably think that you have to hold a certain chord longer because the voice is holding longer. I know that's how it was originally feeling for me when I was doing it, but then you start to see that, okay, if I don't sing and I just really listen to what they're doing on the song, then it's so it's really just kind of a couple of beats per chord. And so we're going C at 9 to E minor 7 to G, back to E minor 7. We're just going between those three chords, C at 9 to E minor 7 to G, back to E minor 7. Start it over again. C at 9, E minor 7, G, E minor 7. And then start it over again. And the last time, C at 9, E minor 7, G, and then they sustain on the E minor 7, and they go back into starting the next verse. So if you can get each of those down, verse, pre-chorus, and chorus, then you'll be able to play the entire song. The tricky part to the song will just be getting that strumming pattern down comfortably. And if, of course, you're going to be trying to sing it as well, then it'll take a little bit of some practice getting used to timing both your strumming and your singing. I always play with the songs that I'm practicing. It helps a lot, and I highly recommend doing it. That was a pretty quick tutorial on how to play the song Wonderwall by Oasis. Stay tuned for my next video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to stay tuned for other videos that I create, and I'll see you next time.